Yo, what is good, my anime people? What is good, yo? Guys, let's get straight into this episode review. I wanted to think of a name for this forest, but I can't really think of any. I'm just gonna call it the first thing that comes to my mind, and the Forest of Coins. um, The Forest of Coins is by far one of the cooler things they've done so far in the show now, thanks to everything kind of building up and giving us understanding of how serious some people are about whatever their reasoning behind joining or whatever their reason is behind gaining their power. We're understanding that there's a little bit more to the spectrum than just, oh, some random person wanted me to be like this, so it looks like I'm like this, you know? Um, with our ridiculously powerful person we meet this week, the only reason why he wanted to come here was to test out his strength, to see how much stronger he is compared to everybody else. And he found out relatively quickly that his strength is powerful, but uh, it's not I was gonna say defined. It's not disciplined. That's what the word I'm looking for. He hasn't disciplined himself when it comes down to actually having accuracy, having more than just raw strength. And that was very clear and abundant once we saw him straight up just get bopped by the two of them, only in the grand scheme of them bopping him in the case of they straight up use their brain to not just get into a slug match with them. And because of that, they also pretty much, I feel like, lost in a way, because unless she's the girl that is with our guy is an absolute savage monster, he was right to know that she would not be able to hold that gun after probably a shot, right? Like, there's a ridiculous amount of recoil on a lot of guns that are smaller than that one. And like the obvious thing he says is, oh, that thing is not a normal gun, because a normal gun probably wouldn't have pierced through my blades and absolutely like still caused me damage. So we get an instance of just understanding how powerful this truly is compared to just, oh yeah, he's got a really strong gun. Like, no, this gun is not not the normal type of human gun, which was cool to see. Not only that, we really get an understanding of how bad off some of these people are going to be when it comes down to getting blackmailed, getting used. So we pretty much get an understanding of this forest is just the forest of monsters, right? Like, if you're one of these people competing, you probably uh, come here because of the alien, giving you heads up, giving everybody different ways of heads up. Whatever you're looking for, he's kind of just sending you here. Which makes sense, because the more people he sends here, the better chance he has that one person collects all of the coins to his supposed spaceship that crashed or whatever the case. So he's clearly setting everybody up to meet up each other and handle the one thing he really truly wishes of them, which is to get his pretty much to get his spaceship back up and running. So uh, that's all I got from the alien so far. Like, even if that is true, right? Like, that might not even be a real thing. Um, we'll see what he wants with the overall actual strength of, you know, if you could use the coins, a coin, and drink it, and it puts back your head. Like, what all can these coins offer? I mean, supposedly this guy was just beating up people with his fist and killing them, and because he drank the juice or whatever, he wound up a lot stronger than he already was, from what I understand. But regardless of all that, I really am looking forward to just seeing how many ridiculous things wind up popping off in this show. Because we've already gotten a good few, right? Like, we've already seen quite a bit of nutty things happening, and I feel like it's just getting started, right? Like, this show truly is capable of just dropping some ridiculous battles. And the thing about this battle was it was definitely better than what they did when the guy with the cell phone showed up. Like, man, that was and here's the thing. I still don't believe the guy with the cell phone and he was like trying to make everybody his own, like he was trying to own them or whatever. I don't think he's dead. So I think we're about to see him come back to life and maybe even take out this guy who just offered up his life to our characters. And we'll probably see him get bopped. Either get bopped or try to hold back the guy. Um, I mean, to see him straight up get one-shotted and this... like, okay, so the battle goes on. Our two, working together, come out with a victory somehow. But the thing that really tripped me out about it all is how they pretty much wind up earning uh, this guy's respect so far, in the point of he earns the respect and he just instantly bops somebody who doesn't even show off his powers, which would, I guess it would make sense, because if you think about it, by looking at like, if you scale through at the very beginning of the show and you look at all the dark looking figures, this guy was not one of them when the gorilla guy attacks. So I feel like maybe he is dead, just in the case of there's a lot of those black like shadows that were showing up. So I wouldn't be surprised necessarily if um, they're just a handful of people and they just happen to be, one or two of them that didn't even really need to be shown because they're so weak, and they're just forced to work with him because the gorilla himself wasn't about to kill unless you don't, search for coins with him. So I guess that might be the reason why there were so many of those dark shadows looming around him. But we also know that they're not the only people that got caught off guard by this weird monster guy with the cell phone, seeing that he had pictures of another group that had traveled in here. So I'm pretty interested in what's going to pop off in the Forest of Coins, because if you think about it, no one is really safe, right? Like, it feels like no one in here should feel safe or is safe, besides the people who marked all the trees with their little turfs and stuff like that, which I'm pretty sure that their turfs, like, there isn't multiple people running these turfs, right? Like, I think it's just one. I don't think I saw another sign. Like, the only thing I saw about the emblems on the tree is that they were different colors. One was black and one was white, which could mean, I guess, two separate teams or two separate gangs in here. So I don't know if that is the case, but like I was saying, I feel like the guy that we just beat up and everything is not going to last very long. I think he's going to be either killed off because he is injured and has some broken ribs, but he's still capable of putting up a fight, clearly. But there's still a lot that we don't know about these monsters and regeneration and stuff like that, so we'll see what happens. Overall, everybody, I hope you are enjoying this show. Let me know if there's something about it you don't like. The main character's getting a little bit better. He's even sacrificing himself to be bait just to get a better shot off against their opponent, even though he doesn't want to kill in general. So there's a lot going on in this show, and I feel like it's building up quite well. But with all that being said, everybody, I hope you're having an amazing day, night, evening, whatever the case may be when you're watching this. I am your boy, the Anime G, and I definitely want to hear from you if you guys are enjoying it, if you're not, if you dropped it, whatever the case may be. I feel like a lot of these shows nowadays either are hit or miss for people, and once they're a miss, they kind of just block it all out of their head. So I would love to know if there is things you don't like and why you may drop it if you haven't already. So with all that being said, take care and peace.